their seats. In a few minutes, the official program will begin. Namaste and a very good evening, everybody. May I request your kind attention? We are just about to begin. I request everybody to please take their seats. In a few minutes, the official program will begin. Sincere apologies. We're delayed by a few minutes. It's the traffic in Delhi that's behaving a little bit like Bengaluru traffic. A few more minutes and our program will begin. Thank you so much for your patience. Gentlemen, may I request your kind attention, please? Namaste, everybody. Good evening. We're about to begin. Can I request all our guests and dignitaries to kindly occupy their seats? I hear word that the minister is just about to join us. Again, my humble apologies for starting a little late. May I finally again request all of our dignitaries and guests to please be seated. Thank you all for your patience. We are honored by the arrival of the Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji. May I request the Minister to please take a seat in the front row. May I request all the dignitaries to please take a seat in the front row. As the world moves through an unprecedented pace, the demand for capable, ethical, and globally minded leadership has never been greater. The future of the global economy is increasingly looking towards India for talent, leadership, and ideas. It is at this decisive moment that Best IU, in partnership with the India Foundation, has established the School of Global Leadership. Through a short video, we invite you to witness a dream that has finally moved from a vision to today a reality. May we have the video, please?
When the course of humanity shifts, every era has its moments. Every choice has global consequences. The world is transforming faster than at any time in history. The consequences of leadership never more profound, from climate resilience to economic renewal, from ethical governance to technological frontiers. Global systems are no longer linear. They are dynamic, interdependent, and volatile. The world demands leaders who can navigate these tangled systems with foresight and agility. The problems before us outpace the solutions we inherited. We cannot wait for leadership to emerge by chance. It must be deliberately cultivated. It must be forged in places where learning transcends classrooms. Here is the School of Global Leadership to fulfill this vision. This is why the School of Global Leadership was conceived not as a sanctuary from the world, but as a crucible within it. Where minds are tempered by knowledge, hearts are anchored in ethics, and vision is tested against the pressures of reality. A school born for those who refuse to be ordinary, for those ready to lead a changing world, where ideas clash, collide, and coalesce into bold new paths. Where your classroom spans continents and your impact spans generations. Here, we cultivate decision makers who think beyond boundaries, where empathy meets strategy to connect ideas, perspectives, and hopes. Here, we prepare them for a century in motion.
I now invite the dignitaries to join us on the stage. I invite Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, to please join us on the stage. Alongside, I also welcome and invite Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, Chancellor of Best IU, Shri Jayant Sinha, Chair of School of Global Leadership, and our co-chairs for the School of Global Leadership, Ambassador Gautam Bambawale and Ambassador Jaideep Mazumdar, to please honor the stage. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, Chancellor of Best IU, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. I extend a very warm welcome to the Honorable Union Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji. Thank you for being here, sir. It's truly an honor to welcome the Honorable Minister with the esteemed dignitaries on the dais, Chair of the School of Global Leadership, Shri Jayant Sinha Ji, Co-Chairs Ambassador Gautam Bambawale Ji and Ambassador Jaideep Mazumdar Ji, and all the distinguished guests who have gathered here today on this milestone event, who have graciously joined us in the evening of this Tuesday. Thank you so much for being there. Sir, Honorable Minister of Education has profoundly transformed the education landscape since 2017. We all know that the revolutionary policy of the National Education Policy 2020 has changed the paradigm of how education is imparted in this country. Sir, your leadership and your foresight is an inspiration to all the institutions across the country. I come from the Bharatiya Engineering, Science and Technology Innovation University, which myself and co-founder Bharatlal Meena ji here, the chairman, we incepted in 2018. We have 6 schools spanning over law, business management, engineering, agricultural technology, sustainable food systems, and now the School of Global Leadership. We are placed in Andhra Pradesh, a state government university of Andhra Pradesh, spanning over 250 acres of beautiful, scenic campus and more than 13,000 students in the campus. And we are very happy today to be launching this School of Global Leadership with our esteemed knowledge partner, the India Foundation. What matters most today in the world, and especially for the learners, is, I would say, not as smart, not just about being smart or intelligent. It's about how imaginative they can be and how ethical, grounded, and courageous they can be in solving world's most pressing challenges. So we're looking at leaders who are imaginative, who have empathy, and who have values, because that is what will sustain the future leaders and future leaders coming from India. At Best IU, we have constantly tried to push our boundaries. And I would say that this is a little interesting episode that happened during the convocation, which became a gospel truth for all of us in Best Innovation University. It's Bharatiya Engineering, Science and Technology Innovation University, but the locals started calling it Best IU. So we by default became the best university around the area. And when Ram Madhav ji came to our campus for the very first convocation in 2022, he told us 3 things. And he put everything in a certain perspective, which then became a rule for the faculties, for the students, for each one of us forever. The first thing he said is, you have a huge responsibility because you call yourself Bharatiya Engineering. And no futures can be written without looking at the past. Therefore, you have a huge responsibility of fulfilling this whole thing called Bharatiya, and instilling this in each student, the pride of being Bharatiya. The second, he said, is innovation in the real sense of innovation principles. Innovation is not merely imitation. We need real innovators for the future, and for this, you need to have futuristic studies in the campus. You cannot follow the usual frameworks and have churn out graduates every year. Therefore, innovation in the real sense of innovation and not imitation. Regeneration and not just intervention, because that can become a problem. A quick fix today can be a problem for tomorrow. The third and the most important aspect he told is, you are best. Ensure you live up to that. Be the best in everything you do. Be the best and aim to be the best in whatever you do. So therefore, sir, that day and today, we have always tried to be ahead of the curve. We have tried to push our boundaries to the limit. And SOGL is one such product of we thinking differently. At best, we've always tried to do different things, and I always tell my faculties, and the faculties believe that they are not just teachers. Students are learners, and faculties are designers, they are architects, and they are co-travelers. Now, when I say these three things, it only means designers of curiosity, because unless the faculties are able to spark that wonder in the students, it is going to be very difficult for them to understand, okay, what is it that is needed of me? Second, we talk about architects of inquiry. One needs to ensure the students have deep questioning ability. The third, co-travelers, because we always look at mentorship, and we attach mentors to students, therefore they travel with the student, walk with them hand in hand throughout the journey of their modules, as well as try to navigate the complexities of the programs. So the most important question that a learner needs to ask is, what problem do I want to solve? And what impact do I want to create? And these questions form the heart of the School of Global Leadership. We are not here to merely award degrees. We are here to cultivate leaders with purpose, with ethics, and with global responsibility. And this initiative was ignited by Dr. Ram Madhavji. He has laid the intellectual foundation for the School of Global Leadership, which has never been attempted in this country. Our partnership with India Foundation strengthens this vision. And this is truly a practitioner-led school, as you see here. We have the guidance of Sri Jayant Sinha ji as the chair of the school, alongside Ambassador Gautam Bambavle ji and Ambassador Jaideep Mazumdar ji as the co-chairs, with our esteemed dignitaries and mentors. This lends exceptional depth, values, and ethics to the whole program, credibility to the whole program. And lastly, it takes a village to raise a child, and this wouldn't have been possible without the team, the Best IU team and the India Foundation team working together. Best IU especially. Ms. Diksha Goyal is the Pro Vice Chancellor, and in a record 8 months, we are able to see this day. And with all the collaborations and spanning continents, 11 countries, and more than 15 collaborations with the top-notch schools across the globe. So it's definitely the team that takes all the credit in this milestone that we've achieved. Ultimately, leadership titles may fade, but what endures is the legacy. And in the systems we shape, the values we uphold, and the legacies and the futures we enable. Thank you very much all, and for being part of this important milestone. And together, let's build futures that are worthy of our aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vasudevan, for that very thoughtful and warm welcome. I now invite Sri Jayant Sinha ji to address the gathering and speak to us about the School of Global Leadership.
धन्यवाद। आज स्कूल ऑफ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप के उद्घाटन समारोह में मंच पे विराजमान भारत सरकार के वरिष्ठ मंत्री श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, बेस्ट आईयू की चांसलर श्रीमती रूपा वासुदेवन जी, एम्बेसडर जयदीप मजुमदार और श्री गौतम बम्बावले जी, यहाँ इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित इंडिया फाउंडेशन के अध्यक्ष और मेरे मित्र श्री राम माधव जी, पत्रकार बंधु, देवियों और सज्जनों, आज मुझे अनंत संतोष हो रहा है कि एक सपना जो रूपा जी का था और राम माधव जी का था, आज उस सपने को हम लोग साकार कर रहे हैं और ये स्कूल फॉर ग्लोबल लीडरशिप का हम लोग उद्घाटन कर रहे हैं। इसलिए मैं बहुत बहुत आज संतुष्ट हूँ, और इसलिए भी संतुष्ट हूँ क्योंकि आपको मालूम है कि परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक लक्ष्य है, एक विजन है, और वो विजन है कि हम लोगों को एक विकसित भारत बनाना है। और अगर इस विकसित भारत को हमें बनाना है तो हमें भारत से ही ऐसे लीडर्स, ऐसे लोगों को हम लोगों को उत्पन्न करना पड़ेगा जो ना सिर्फ भारत को लेकिन अपने पूरे विश्व को अपना लीडरशिप दे सकते हैं, अपना नेतृत्व दे सकते हैं। और आज इस स्कूल के द्वारा हम लोगों को विश्वास है कि हम लोग इस लक्ष्य को पूरा करेंगे। तो ये स्कूल ऑफ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप मैं समझता हूं कि हमारे देश के लिए भी एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण और बहुत ठोस कदम है। मैं थोड़ा बहुत आज स्कूल ऑफ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप के बारे में आप सब लोगों को बताना चाहता हूं। As you all know, and many people have defined it to be, that we are living in an age of polycrisis. Not just one, but multiple crises are afflicting us as we deal with all the turbulent challenges of the world. I call them the 4 Ds. The 4 Ds. We are dealing with deglobalization. The world that we saw after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 is deglobalizing. Supply chains are fragmenting. We are seeing enormous changes as far as technology is concerned, whether it's artificial intelligence, quantum computing, nuclear fusion, biosciences. There's enormous change happening in the world of technology through digitization. We are seeing depopulation, declining populations in the OECD countries, even in India. Many of our states now are below total fertility rate and populations are actually declining, which will have enormous challenges that we will have to deal with. And finally, the work that I have been doing around sustainable development, because of the pressure of carbon emissions, because of the challenges that we are dealing with on air pollution and so on, we have to decarbonize. We have to reduce the use of fossil fuels and move towards a much more sustainable future. And these are the 4 Ds. These are the challenges that everybody is going to have to deal with as a set of crises. But if we train people well and we equip them to take on these challenges, we will convert, as we did in COVID as well, a crisis into an opportunity. And those are the kinds of leaders that we want to develop. Now, as Rupa ji said, and I want to re-emphasize this, the way that this program has been designed has not been to enable people to acquire more textbook knowledge. We are good at that. Our students are smart. They're able to acquire textbook knowledge very quickly. But ladies and gentlemen, the future in the age of AI is not going to be about answers. It's not going to be about telling people about what's happening. It's going to be about asking the right questions, because all the knowledge is available. We need people to pose the questions associated with actual practice, actual problems, actual challenges. And so this is going to be a practitioner-driven program where you're going to learn from people who have been battle-tested in dealing with real issues. That's how this program has been designed, to focus on real-world impact. Now, as I said earlier, परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक लक्ष्य है कि हम भारत को एक विकसित भारत बनाएं। और अगर कुछ लोगों का मानना है कि एक G2 की दुनिया है, मैं उनको ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूं कि G2 नहीं, ये G3 की दुनिया है। इसमें हमारा एक विकसित भारत भी आने वाला है। लेकिन अगर विकसित भारत का नेतृत्व करना है, वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन 3 प्रायोरिटीज। ग्लोबल एंगेजमेंट, we have to understand where we are, how are we equipped to deal with these global challenges and the global competitive pressures. We have to understand our societal needs, but also the societal needs of other countries as well. And we have to take advantage of all of the economic opportunities that are in front of us. So Viksit Bharat means the people who will lead us, the young people who will lead us into Viksit Bharat in 2047 and beyond, have to be able to engage with all of these different issues, understand them at a real world practitioner level, and that's what we intend to do, because Viksit Bharat needs global leaders. And this is going to be hands-on immersive learning. I have spent time with Rupa ji and her team, with Surabhi, Diksha and everyone else. What we have strived to do here is to enable people to go to where the action is, whether it's in Silicon Valley, whether it's in Dubai, whether it's in China. We want people to be immersed in those real life situations, understand what is happening around them, so that they can get a true global picture of what the important challenges and opportunities are. This is meant to provide hands-on immersive learning. And therefore, and I'll conclude with this, the real goal here with the School for Global Leadership is to define a new architecture of leadership, a new model for leadership, which is what we want our young people and the next generation to be able to do. It has to be based on deep societal understanding of our culture, our society, but equally, equally to understand other societies and their cultures, because only then we can forge win-win collaborations. It has to be based on a deep understanding of what is happening around the world. And I'll give you a very small example. I had a chance, and I was very fortunate to be in Stade de France when our wonderful athlete Neeraj Chopra won a silver medal. We were incredibly excited. नीरज चोपड़ा जी आए, हम लोगों ने तिरंगा निकाला, बड़े फोटो खिंचवाए, पूरे सोशल मीडिया में लगाया. इतने हम लोग खुश हुए उस दिन कि आज हम लोगों को सिल्वर मेडल मिला है. अगले दिन इत्तेफाक से अगले दिन हम लोग डाइविंग स्टेडियम में थे. धर्मेंद्र जी, डाइविंग स्टेडियम. उस दिन डाइविंग स्टेडियम में पेरिस में 8 गोल्ड मेडल थे. 8 गोल्ड मेडल थे. 8 के 8 चीन ने जीते. 8 के 8 चीन ने जीते और पूरा स्टेडियम रंगा हुआ था लाल उनके झंडों से, चीन के झंडों से. Those are the global realities we have to understand. We cannot be content with one silver medal. We have to win 40 gold medals, and I'm sure we will do that when the Olympics come to India. But that's what we have to aspire to. And that's the global reality that we have to contend with. And finally, this is what I call as double loop learning. Double loop learning. It's not just that you have to learn new things. In the world going forward, you have to be a double loop learner. You have to learn how to learn. And you have to be able to accelerate your learning because you are engaging in double loop learning. That is going to be the new leadership model. That's what we intend to teach the students who come for this program. Once again, my best wishes to the program, to Ram Madhav ji, to Rupa ji, and the entire team that has built this together. We are excited that this will also give us an opportunity to train the next generation of leaders for Viksit Bharat and the world ahead of us. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite co-chair for SOGL, Ambassador Gautam Bambawale ji, to deliver his remarks.
Honorable Minister for Education, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Chair of the newly launched or to be launched School on Global Leadership, Shri Jayant Sinha ji, Chair of the Best Innovation University, Shri Bharatlal Meena ji, President of India Foundation, Shri Ram Madhav ji, Vice Chair of Best Innovation University, Dr. Rupa Vasudevan ji, my colleague, Ambassador Mazumdar ji. Thank you so much for being with us this evening at the launch of the School of Global Leadership. A lot of people ask me, is this a school for foreign policy? Because they see an ambassador being part of the outfit, and they ask me, is this a school for foreign policy? The answer is a clear-cut no. Others ask me, is this a school for public policy? Because there are so many schools of public policy being opened all over India. The answer to that question too is a big no. This is a school for global leadership. And I'll tell you why exactly India needs to build a school for global leadership and to build global leaders here in India. They could be from India itself, they could be from other countries, and some of the other countries are represented here tonight. We are now in an era where we live in a globalized world, despite the fact, as Jayant Sinha ji pointed out, there are impetuses, there are impulses to deglobalization. But we live in a joint world where almost the whole world is one big city, one big village. That's one aspect of it. There's another aspect of it which was also referred to by Jayant Sinha ji, which is, please look at the latest statistics of the International Monetary Foundation, of the IMF, for GDPs of various countries based on purchasing power parity. Number one is China, with a GDP in PPP terms of $40 trillion. Number two is the United States, with a GDP in PPP terms of $30 trillion. But people don't seem to go beyond that. Number 3 is India, with a GDP in 2025 in PPP terms of $18 trillion. So just as Jayant Sinha ji was saying, I think we are moving into a G3 world. And in a G3 world, India will be looked upon to take more decisions in international affairs, in international business, in international technology developments, and so on. And therefore, it is important for India, and not just India itself, but also for other countries to develop global leadership and global leaders. Global leaders in government and governance, global leaders in business, global leaders in technology, global leaders in society, and so on and so forth. And this exactly is what we aim to do at the School of Global Leadership, which is being founded by BEST IU and India Foundation. So please come with us, join us in this voyage of discovery. Please be with us and send your students to this School of Global Leadership, which we hope to launch today and which will, of course, come into existence very, very soon. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your kind remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the central moment of this evening. I request the Honorable Minister, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, along with the other dignitaries on the stage, to formally launch the School of Global Leadership and the Minister to deliver his remarks thereafter. A big round of applause for the launch of the School of Global Leadership. May I request the Honorable Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, to deliver his remarks.
आदरणीय जयंत सिन्हा जी, चेयर स्कूल ऑफ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप एंड मेंबर गवर्निंग काउंसिल इंडिया फाउंडेशन, आदरणीय एम्बेसडर गौतम बम्बावले जी, एम्बेसडर जयदीप मजुमदार जी, बेस्ट आयु के चांसलर आदरणीय डॉक्टर रूपा वासुदेवन जी, हम सबको इस कार्यक्रम में जोड़ने वाले हम सबकी प्रिय आदरणीय राम माधव जी, यहाँ उपस्थित सभी महानुभाव, सभी सज्जनगण और मीडिया के साथीगण, मेरे लिए अत्यंत सुखद प्रसंग है। हम लोग नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 की 5वीं साल में उपस्थित है और इस एनईपी की एक ऐतिहासिक एस्पेक्ट 1956 से बनी हुई यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन, बाद में एनसीटी और एआईसीटी, एनईपी ने कहा था कि इसमें एक स्ट्रक्चरल रिफॉर्म होनी चाहिए। भारत की एजुकेशन को एक ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड तक ले जाने के लिए हमें एक स्ट्रक्चरल रिफॉर्म की आवश्यकता है, जिसको माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 2020 में एनईपी में एनविजन किया था। उसमें एक प्रमुख रिकमेंडेशन था भारत की एजुकेशन को इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन करना, वैश्विकरण करना, भारत की एजुकेशन को मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी करना, भारत की एजुकेशन को फ्लेक्सिबल करना। इसलिए मैंने कहा मेरे लिए सुखद संजोग है, मैं बीते कल भारत की संसद में और आज दोनों दिन विकसित भारत शिक्षा अधिष्ठान की जो नया कानून आएगा भारतीयता के आधार पे, उसको मैं देश के सामने संसद के माध्यम से उपस्थापित किया। और उसी संध्या में एनईपी को मूर्त रूप देने के लिए, साकार करते हुए आज ऐसे एक भारतीय ब्रांड को हम लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, लीडरशिप फॉर द स्कूल ऑफ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप। मैंने जितना माननीय राम माधव जी से समझाए। शायद इसके पार्टिसिपेंट ग्लोबल यंगस्टर्स रहेंगे। सदारंभ में आपने भारतीय नौजवानों के बारे में सोचा होगा। मेरे अनसोलिसिटेड सुझाव रहेगा कि इस ब्रांड में जो बेस्ट आयु के साथ पार्टनरशिप में होगा, तो बेस्ट आयु तो उसका एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, लेकिन इसको मिलके भारत की सभी इंस्टीट्यूशन, सभी बेस्ट ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी और ग्लोबल यूनिवर्सिटी, ग्लोबल पार्टनरशिप के साथ, जिसकी एनईपी में और एक शब्द की कल्पना किया गया है, रूटेड बट फ्यूचरिस्टिक टू क्रिएट ग्लोबल सिटीजन्स। इंडिया फाउंडेशन और बेस्ट आयु एनईपी की इंप्लीमेंटेशन की 5th ईयर में इस प्रकार के ग्लोबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट आज सबके सामने लाने के लिए मैं सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं। आप सब लोग के ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशंस की आज लोकार्पण में उपस्थित हुए, मैं आपको भारत की शिक्षा जगत की ओर से आभार प्रकट करता हूं। मित्रों, दुनिया की चुनौती क्या है, समस्या क्या है? समस्या है लीडरशिप। किसी देश की दायित्व लेना, जनप्रतिनिधि बनना, एग्जीक्यूटिव की लीडरशिप पोजीशन पे रहना, कॉरपोरेट वर्ल्ड की लीडरशिप पोजीशन पे रहना, या अपने घरों में सही निर्णय करने की जो चुनौती है, उसी की नाम है लीडरशिप, उसी का नाम है नेतृत्व। सही डिसीजन जो करता है, घर में तो बहुत लोग होते हैं, समाज में तो बहुत लोग होते हैं, शिक्षानुष्ठान में तो अनेकों लोग हैं, गवर्नेंस में ऊपर से नीचे अनेक लोग हैं, लेकिन लीडर उसी को कहा जाता है जो निर्णय करता है। मेरे मित्र संजीव सान्याल जी है, वो इतिहास, अपना इकोनॉमिक्स को इतिहास के प्रोस्पेक्ट में बताते हैं। मैं उनसे काफी प्रभावित रहता हूं। मैं आपको लीडरशिप की एक ऐसे ही ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि आपके सामने रखता हूं। यू ऑल आर फैमिलियर विथ सन टेम्पल एट कोणार्क एंड पुरी। इट्स नॉट ओनली एन हिस्टोरिकल मॉन्यूमेंट और ए कल्चरल स्टेटमेंट, it's a scientific point. When sun rays, the false ray drop at Konark Sun Temple. So it's a scientific point. In those days there is no IITs. There is no NITs, or there are no such distinguished professor like Mr. Ashutosh Sharma ji और अनिल सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी और जगदीश कुमार जी। लेकिन उस समय के समाज ने इस साइंटिफिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को बनाया। मैं को केस स्टडी कहता हूं लीडरशिप के साथ। सम्राट ने कहा कि एक प्रभु के सूर्य अर्क, प्रभु के पूजा के लिए सन टेम्पल बनाते। समाज ने सन टेम्पल के काम पे लगा, सूर्य मंदिर बनी। जिससे मैंने कहा ये कोई सामान्य पूजा की मंदिर नहीं था, एक वैज्ञानिक उपक्रम था। समुद्र किनारे मंदिर था, मंदिर बनते गया। उस समय में उड़ीसा की लोक कथा में आज भी कहते हैं कि 1200 कारीगर, 1200 बढ़ई उस काम पे लगे थे, लेकिन मंदिर पूरा नहीं हो रहा था, कंप्लीट नहीं हो पा रहा था। वो शिखर बैठ नहीं पाता था, बिखर जाता था, टूट जाता था। चीफ आर्किटेक्ट था बिशु महाराणा। बिशु महाराणा अपने सारे मित्रों के साथ बैठ के चिंता में रहा कि राजा ने अल्टीमेटम दिया है कि भाई फलाना तिथि तक अगर मंदिर नहीं बनता है तब यू ऑल विल बी किल्ड, आपके सबके सर उड़ाया जाएगा। तनाव था, इतने साल लगे, मंदिर पूरा नहीं हो रहा है, किसी को कुछ सूझ नहीं रहा था। बिशु महाराणा की छोटा लड़का, और सब कैंप में रहते थे, मां ने भेजा था कि जाओ तुम पिताजी को मिल के आओ, हालचाल पूछो, थोड़ा घर से कुछ खाना लेके जाओ। स्वीट्स लेके घर से वो आया था। वो कैंप में बड़ा सब विषाद होकर लोग बैठे थे, बड़ी चिंता में थे। तो कैंप में सुन रहा था क्या घटना क्या है। वो पार्टिसिपेंट भी नहीं था, वो तो सीनियर लोग थे, मैच्योर लोग थे, तो बच्चा था। वो बैठ के सुना कि चैलेंज क्या है। चैलेंज ये है अगर उसको नहीं कंप्लीट करते हैं तो राजा आकर काल सबको मारेगा। ये वेस्ट इनोवेशन यूनिवर्सिटी है, इनोवेशन उसके मन में शुरू हुई होगी. When someone is pushed to the wall, he became a scientist, he became innovator. वो चुपचाप मंदिर के ऊपर चढ़ा. ऐसे बच्चे बचपन में चढ़ गया ऊपर, उसको थोड़ा इधर उधर हाथ उधर लगाया. Then finally he could successfully complete the मंदिर, चूल शिखर लगा दिया. ये तो एक फिजिकल काम कर दिया. लोग देखें कि भाई मंदिर तो कहीं हो गया कंप्लीट. छोटा बच्चा था, दिख नहीं रहा था. उसके मन में एक प्रश्न आया कि अगर मैं नीचे उतरूंगा तब ये 1200 लोग मरने वाले हैं. राजा के लोग बैठे हैं वहां, सिपाहीगिरी कर रहे हैं कि भाई मंदिर पूरा हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. तो मैं जब उतरूंगा, जब पता चला कि एक छोटा लड़का ही कर लिया, तो राजा आके इन 1200 को मारेगा कि तुम इनकॉम्पिटेंट थे, तुम रहने से फायदा क्या है, तुम मरो. ये डिसीजन, इसकी निर्णय उसके मन में भावना आई. उसके मन में डिसीजन तो नहीं कर पाया, वो भावना उसके मन में आया कि मैं नीचे गया तो 1200 लोग मरेंगे. मैं इनकम्प्लीट करके फिर उसको बिखार के चले जाऊंगा तो भी मरने वाले हैं. समुद्र के किनारे था वो, उन्होंने समुद्र में जंप करके खुद की जिंदगी दे दिया. यह 1000 कोणार्क मंदिर की आयु लगभग 1000 साल है. उस समय संजीव सान्याल होते तो उसको डॉक्यूमेंट करते, और आज एआई में उसको डाल के थोड़ा मल्टीलिंगुअल करते और एनिमेटेड वर्जन में उसको दुनिया को हम दिखाते. अभी भी दिखाएंगे संजीव जी. आप उस स्टोरी को लिखोगे, दिस इज लीडरशिप. ही टुक डिसीजन विद इन फ्यू सेकेंड्स. इफ आई क्लाइम डाउन देन रक्तपात होने वाला है, अगर मैं छोड़ के जाऊं तब रक्तपात होने वाला है, भले ही लेट मी गो. ये लीडरशिप है. आज लीडरशिप ही चैलेंज है. अगर कहीं लीडरशिप होता तो आज की जियो पॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन से नहीं होता. लीडरशिप होता तो इस देश में इतना दुख कष्ट दर्द दुनिया में नहीं रहती. भारत की सभ्यता में लीडरशिप की ओरिएंटेशन है. इसीलिए हमने कभी कहा था, हम वसुधैव कुटुंबकम में हमने सोचा तो कभी अपने गांव की नहीं सोचा, अपने प्रांत की नहीं सोचा, भाषा की नहीं सोचा, अपने सनातन की नहीं सोचा. सनातन की एक तत्व है, लेकिन हम सनातन के बारे में नहीं सोचा. हमने विश्व के बारे में सोचा. इस प्रकार की फ्यूचरिस्टिक, इस प्रकार की एथिकल, इस प्रकार की मोरल लीडरशिप केवल भारत में आ सकते हैं. मेरे कोई देश निवेश नहीं है, देश निवेश नहीं है, लेकिन दुनिया की सभ्यता को पढ़ा जाए तो इस प्रकार की कॉन्फिडेंस और कहीं नहीं मिलती है. और मैं उचित मानता हूं 21st सेंचुरी में ये सिंड्रोम ऑफ धर्मपद, लीडरशिप, डिसाइसिव लीडरशिप, एथिकल लीडरशिप, सैक्रिफाइस सेंट्रिक लीडरशिप, विजनरी लीडरशिप, यह हमारे कल्चर में परिवर्तित करना पड़ेगा. और सोसाइटी में वैल्यूज रहता है, कभी कभी उसको थोड़ा नज थ्योरी में पुश करना पड़ता है. सोसाइटी में हम सभी के पास इस प्रकार की चरित्र है. उस चरित्र को याद करवाना और थोड़ा नज करना और विश्व की आवश्यकता की समाधान निकालना, उसी दिशा में एक अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन के नाते और एक अच्छे जिम्मेवार थिंक टैंक के नाते आज इंडिया फाउंडेशन और बेस आयु एक न्यू इंस्ट्रूमेंट, जैसे मैंने कहा, आज समाज के सामने लाए. जैसे मैंने समझा इस विषय में 30-40 संख्या के बच्चे इस लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम में एडमिशन लेंगे. उनकी दुनिया में अनेक स्थान पे भ्रमण होगा, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस होगा, और प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस इज एनी टाइम बेटर देन क्लासरूम एक्सपीरियंस, क्लासरूम लर्निंग. और मैं शिक्षा विभाग में काम करते करते रोज नई चीज सीखता हूं. आज भी मैंने कई सारे न्यू टर्मिनोलॉजी को समझा यहां आके. मैंने ग्लोबलाइजेशन तो एक बहुत प्रचलित शब्द है, डी ग्लोबलाइजेशन, और फिर जब एम्बेसडर्स की इंटरप्रिटेशन को समझते हैं तो उसका नया स्पिरिट और नया अर्थ समझ में आती है। आज हमारी भारत में अनेक ऐसे नौजवान हैं जिनको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलने में वो दुनिया की नेतृत्व करने की सक्षम है। इसको टाइम एंड अगेन बहुत बार सिद्ध किया गया है। और इस प्रकार की जो प्रैक्टिकल ओरिएंटेशन के साथ महात्मा गांधी आजादी की लड़ाई सिर्फ किताबों में नहीं लड़े, मीटिंग्स के प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं लड़े, सफाई में लड़े, सूत बनाते हुए लड़े, टॉयलेट साफ करते हुए लड़े। हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग, प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग ही सही उपाय है। इसलिए मैं और इस विषय में अपेक्षा रखूंगा इसकी निश्चित रूप में जो हमारी एनईपी के अन्य फीचर्स है। हमने क्रेडिटाइज सिस्टम शुरू किया, क्रेडिट अर्निंग सिस्टम शुरू किया। मैं बेस्ट आयु को और जगदीश जी को अनुरोध करूंगा, उनको थोड़ा गाइड करना चाहिए। ये कोर्स की एक प्रेस्टिजियस क्रेडिट एक्रेडिटेशन मिलनी चाहिए उसको। एजुकेशन सिस्टम उसको एंडोर्स करे प्रॉपरली, अडॉप्ट करे प्रॉपरली। ये भले ही दो इंस्टीट्यूशन मिलकर कर रहे होंगे, लेकिन ये भारत की एक एसेट है, भारत के एक ब्रांड बनके आने वाले दिनों में ग्लोबल स्पीयर में भारतीय मूल्यों को, भारतीय सभ्यता को, भारतीय सभ्यता आधारित मूल्यों को प्रतिपादित करेगा। इसी शुभकामनाओं के साथ आप सभी को इस ऐतिहासिक क्षण का साक्षी बनने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for grounding us in a very Indic concept of leadership and for gracing the launch of School of Global Leadership. May I request the Chair of School of Global Leadership, Jayant Sinha sir, to please felicitate the Honorable Minister. Thank you. To conclude the formal proceedings, I invite Co-Chair of School of Global Leadership, Ambassador Jaideep Mazumdar, to deliver the concluding remarks.
Distinguished audience, distinguished guests, Excellencies, I see a number of ambassadors, high commissioners, and diplomats from the diplomatic corps in Delhi. It falls upon me to make the concluding remarks. But I think after what you've heard, the passionate comments, the eloquent and passionate comments from Honorable Minister for Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, from Shri Jayant Sinha ji, from Dr. Rupa Vasudevan and Ambassador Gautam Bambawale, I think there is little I can add to what they have already said. But I think I will say this much. The year that is just about to end has perhaps been like no other in recent memory. And the implications of this year will have far-reaching consequences for many, many years to come. And perhaps it sets the stage for why we need a School of Global Leadership. And as we begin the new year with the establishment of the school, I think it is the perfect time to be optimistic about the future. We talked about deglobalization. Deglobalization is a luxury that some countries can afford. But India, a rising nation, cannot afford deglobalization. We have to be engaged with the world. We have to be engaged with every aspect of the world. And I think the purpose of this school is to create that leadership talent which will engage with the world and not to shut our doors to it. It is, I understand, a very big responsibility. We in the governing council of the school have a huge responsibility, but I take it that we are all fired up with the zeal given our young team, which has worked for many months, a very dynamic, dedicated young team. And I have no doubt that we will be able to launch this in the early part of next year. And we seek all your support and blessings. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you, Ambassador, for those concluding remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this program. I thank you all for being a patient and honest audience. I request you all to kindly join us for dinner. And once again, thank you, and thank you for joining us for the launch of the School of Global Leadership.